Hi guys, so I'm Jasmine here, your independent Scentsy consultant. I am here with you in my official studio that I actually use for my other show, Comfort Kills. But because there was a little issue with the interview time, I was speaking on Eastern time and my guest is on Central time. And so there's a little bit of a gap there. Didn't give the correct time, so we're kind of on different times right now. So I'll just come back in an hour and do that interview. And meanwhile, I just wanted to jump on here really quick and talk to you guys. You know that I am um, a huge advocate for all things side hustles. And I just wanted to jump on here today really quick because I have some time and say that, when I first joined Scentsy, I really did not realize that it was going to do what it was going to do and that it was the way that it is. I first started Scentsy because I wanted a discount. I purchased hundreds of dollars from my girlfriend, and she was finally like, Jasmine, we are not going to let you purchase anymore until you get yourself a link. And so I'm like, okay, well, what do I have to do to get a link? And she goes, hit here, join here, and then you become a consultant and you earn your 20% commission off of your own purchases. And so she's like, it just makes sense. If you're going to purchase this much, then you might as well just do that, get into it, and, enjoy the products and enjoy the discount while you're at it. So that's what I ended up doing. I purchased myself a consulting kit for $99, and I'm like, do I want all of those items on there? I'm like, well, you know what? Actually, all of those items I think I can use, but do I really like those scents in there? I was being extra particular and I was like, do I really need all those samples? And she was like, well, you can just heat up the samples and use them. And then once you heat them, you dump them into your warmer and just use them as your own scent. So I'm like, all right, whatever. $99. Everything that was in the kit was way more than $99 anyway. So I'm like, all right, I'll just go ahead and do it. Makes a lot of sense. In the future, when I start making purchases, I'll save 20%. I'm all for the discount. So I started off in starting Scentsy as a kidnapper. What I knew was that at that time, I was just like, this isn't for me. I'm so busy. I have my podcast, I have my YouTube, I have my work, I have so many other projects that are going on right now that it's just not for me. I don't have the time and energy to be a sales lady and try and sell Scentsy. Well, what I ended up doing, it shocked me as soon as I got into the community and got the exposure that I did and met some of the leaders that I did. I was absolutely, completely, 100% did a complete 360, 180, whatever the correct thing is. Like I turned um, my head upside down and I was just like, you know what? This makes a lot of sense. Income doesn't have to come from one source. Income does not have to come from your primary career. It does not have to come from there. I have learned so much about residual income. That's why I have a podcast. That's why I have a YouTube channel. That's why I'm doing so many different projects. That's why I'm working on a book that's related to my other YouTube channel. There are so many different things that you could be doing with your extra time that I was just like, you know what? Maybe Scentsy could be one of it. Maybe direct sales could be one of it. I don't have to just use this for the discount. I love the products. I brought a warmer and some wax bars to work and I plugged it in and everybody was like walking past my office going, "Whoa, what's that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Scentsy." They're like, "Oh, tell me more." Guys, I didn't even have to sell the product. All I had to do was just use the product in a public setting, use the product in a way that when people walk past, it's an aromatic experience, right? I mean, there's a reason why Disney just said and proclaimed that Scentsy is now the official fragrance for Disney. They're incorporating it into their theme parks, or excuse me, theme park into Fantasyland. They're incorporating an entire fragrance experience into Fantasyland. Disney has always utilized fragrance as a way to sell, right? They pump certain types of fragrances into certain areas. During lunchtime, they're pumping smells of funnel cakes and I'm just making this up. I don't know what the details are, but they are always constantly pumping fragrance, different types of smell um, into their theme parks to help encourage the people who are at the theme park to say, oh, I'm hungry, I want to eat something, let's go get some food. They're constantly doing that. They're always doing that. And now this marriage between Scentsy and Disney is so like, I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. Anyways, I digress. I am here to say that Scentsy is not what I thought it was when I first joined it. When I first joined Scentsy, I thought I was a kidnapper. I was coming in, I was getting the discount. I just wanted the discount, made sense to me. I get to save money, right? What I learned once I joined Scentsy, y'all, I'm a nursing leader. I am in a leadership position at the hospital that I work at. But I cannot tell you how much more I have learned from my upline and from other Scentsy consultants regarding leadership. We had an entire book club. It's currently during the summertime, it's on hold, but we have an entire book club within our circle of leaders to read a book about leadership and how we can utilize that in our own personal businesses. That is insane because Scentsy does not breed lazy leaders. Let's get that straight. What I've learned when I joined Scentsy was Scentsy is so much about creating leaders, not creating salespeople, not creating, generating more and more sales. That's always going to be a part of it because it's direct sales, it's retail. Let's get that in our heads, okay? That's always going to be a small piece of it, but it's not the only piece of it. You can't continue only making sales to be successful in Scentsy. You have to continue making sales as well as have sponsorship in order to be successful. So what they have also done is breed leaders in this group. These groups I've had so much leadership training and so much training that I've learned and that I have never heard or learned about in my years of being a leader in healthcare. Okay. In fact, in January, when there was World Tour Scentsy, I actually ended up going to attending the World Tour virtually. And one of the guest speakers there, Kendra Hall, spoke about sharing your story and how sharing your story can change the way things move for you moving forward, right? By sharing your story and giving them a story that sticks really helps to boost your sales, really helps to boost your leadership. Tell me why I just sat in a meeting the other day at work. Again, healthcare here. I'm in healthcare. Sat in a meeting at work, and then somebody was like, oh, yeah, sharing your story. That makes sense. I work in a world full of amazing leaders, brilliant, brilliant leaders, but yet the information is being shared among Scentsy leaders. And I'm just hearing it for the first time in my group of actual career professional leaders. Why is that? Like that's what it baffled me. It baffled me. It baffles me. And I'm just here to say that when I joined Scentsy, I really was just like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm not going to be the sales lady that you think I'm going to be. I'm going to be my own best buyer. I'm going to be my own best buyer. I'm going to purchase everything. I'm going to get discounts. I'm going to enjoy, the perks of being a consultant, but not actually selling because I'm not interested in making commission off of this. I'm not interested. Well, guess what? That totally changed, right? I ended up meeting all these different people, and some of these leaders are so transparent, and that is one thing I always appreciate in leadership is transparency in an individual in general, not just leadership, people in general. Your vibe is good if you're transparent to me. If you're holding back on something and if you're not giving me, I can tell you're holding back on some information. To me, that's kind of like, what are you trying not to disclose, and what are you omitting to tell me that should be told because you're thinking about it too, right? So these leaders are so transparent. They definitely don't hide anything. If they don't hide anything. And so they have sat there and flat out just post, this is somebody's paycheck this month, and it's screenshots from somebody's commission payout details. And then they're posting. Y'all, they are making a killing. And why? Because they have built themselves an empire. Okay. You can say whatever it is you want to say when it comes to pyramid schemes and MLMs, but Scentsy is not like so many other direct sales company. I've done direct sales before, when I was in nursing school and trying to make a living off of just whatever I can find. I've done direct sales before, and believe you me, I did not make a single sale. Probably because the product itself is kind of hard to sell, but I see people sell it all the time. So maybe it was just me. I told myself at the time, this is not made for me. I'm not doing another consultant anything. So y'all just leave me alone. Okay. But when my girlfriend tells me you can save money and and get 20% off every single purchase, that changes the vibe a little bit and the tune a little bit, right? But I'm just here to say I did not realize that this was going to turn out the way that it was. When I joined Scentsy, I was just like, yeah, 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 sure, whatever. And then once I started learning about the different types of leadership training that they have, start meeting the types of leaders that are within Scentsy, and started hearing about the potential that can come from selling Scentsy, my entire world changed. You know what? That's when I was just like, if if I can make a little bit more money every single day off of my commission selling Scentsy, it could mean a lot for me. It could mean earlier retirement. I don't know. We don't know, as a group, as a generation. We don't know what retirement's going to look like 40 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now when we're ready to retire, right? Our parents right now are retiring at the age of 67 and a half. It used to be 65, and I'm pretty sure it used to be even less than that. But when our baby boomers started to retire, the generation that came right behind them, which are happening now, are starting to not have, because that 65 years old retirement just ceiling just got pushed farther. So my mom can't retire until she's 67 and a half. And you know what I want to do? I want to help my mom retire. I am sick and tired of her going to work, having back pain, having knee pain. I want her to just enjoy life. All right. My kids are now 15 and 18, going on 16 and 18. One's leaving the house, one's getting ready to graduate in 2 years. And my mom had spent her entire grandmotherhood working and barely spending time with them on the weekends when she sees them, when we were living in the vicinity, like in the local area with her. My in-laws just barely are starting to retire now. They've wanted to retire forever. And now they're finally getting to be able to enjoy and come over here and visit us whenever they would like to. But I don't want that anymore. I'm sick and tired of seeing my parents suffer. I want to be able to do something more. My income is great enough, but my income isn't good enough to retire my mom out. And I'm ready. I am so ready, you guys, to retire my mom out. And that's why when I saw what Scensy's potential was, I was like, that could help me retire my mother out. That could help me do so much more. That could help me travel more. Once COVID is done, I would like to be able to travel more without having to take out a loan or without having to pinch every single month in order to travel. I would like that money. I would like to be able to pay off bills and not just pay the minimum, not just pay the minimum. I want to pay more than that $50 minimum. I want to pay $100. I want to pay $150. Hurry up and pay that debt down and then be debt free. That's what I want to do. And Scentsy allows me to do that. And so, yeah, I joined Scentsy with this whole like mentality, like it ain't for me. I'm not into this. I'm not going to be selling anything. But I flipped the script and it's completely different now. I learned so much more. I've learned so much more about leadership in Scentsy, which is astounding to me still. Being a leader in healthcare for as long as I've been, I'm hearing things for the first time in Scentsy that I'm like, oh my gosh, if somebody would have told me this as a nurse leader, 5 years ago, I probably would and this would not have happened. And so I really, 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 truly believe that Scensy's culture is just absolutely amazing. I am so forever thankful that my friend became a consultant and then I followed in suit right after her a month later because she was like, girl, the discount, take it for the discount. And I just want to say, if you think that this story relates to you in one way or another, whether it's you wanting to go on vacation or you wanting to go to space and do that space travel for the first time, like Richard Branson just did with Virgin Galactic, guys, the world is changing and there's so many opportunities for us, and the sky is no longer the limit. The sky's no longer the limit. They just proved that today. Richard Branson and Virgin Galactic just went to space and floated around and then came back. Okay, it was a short-lived trip, but it was still going to space. So seriously, guys, if you want extra income, if you're happy where you are and you're complacent, so be it. But you know what? My other channel is called Comfort Kills, and Comfort kills ambitions, goals, dreams, everything. If you become complacent with where you are and you're just happy with enough is enough, and you come home from your 9 to 5 and all you want to do is put your feet up and go through and Netflix and chill, do you, boo. That's fine. That's fine. But that's not me, right? 9 to 5 is my day job. And then 5 to 12 a.m. is where my dreams are happening. That's me. If you guys don't think you have time for this, then that means your dreams aren't big enough. They're not scary enough. Or maybe you just don't have any dreams. Maybe you're happy the way you are. So be it. You're happy the way you are. That's totally okay too. But I am telling you, for me, things have changed. And I have so many team members under me right now. My team is growing, growing, growing. And I am so happy because they all found me through my social media. They found me through my YouTube. And I have teams all over the nation and outside of this country as well, which is so exciting. But they are killing it because each and every single one of them who are finding me found me through one of my videos, found me through one of my TikToks, through one of my Instagram reels, and they're like, you know what? I like this girl's vibe. And they're joining my team, and I'm setting them up for success. Every single one of them. Even the ones who have like hit join but won't respond to my text messages, I'm still constantly, constantly saying, hey, by the way, just checking in to see what I can do to help, you succeed in this business. Some of them are in it for the discount, and that's okay. But it took somebody to show me what the potential was before I realized that this is not just for the discount anymore, and this is more than that. And so, what I'm saying here is that you guys think about it. If you're thinking about it, if you're on the border of it, reach out to me. I am more than happy to talk to you. I'm more than happy to get you to do a launch party, do an earn the kit party so that you can earn a kit for little to no out of pocket costs as well. It's possible. You don't have to pay $99. You don't have to do that. You can earn it for much less than that, but you're going to have to put in some work. And that's where you and I are going to connect and we're going to do this together. Nothing in life is free, right? Nothing in life is free. You're going to have to put in some kind of work in order to earn that. And that's what I'm doing. I'm not giving out kits left and right, guys. I'm not giving out kits left and right. I'm not that type of person because I want to see that you want this just as bad, right? You have to show me that you have the potential too, because I could very easily turn around and change somebody else's life with this opportunity. But each month, I have multiple kits available that you can earn for little to no out of pocket costs. But again, we have to communicate and we have to do this together because Jasmine is not handing out free stuff in this case. Jasmine is not handing out free stuff. Jasmine is going to want to know what your story is. Jasmine's going to want to know what your why is. And you and I, we're going to talk. We're going to talk and we're going to figure out what's best for you and what's best for your family and what's best for your future. And we'll see what we can do. All right. Because the sky is no longer the limit. So let's forget that. Break those ceilings, break those barriers, and let's do this because Scentsy can change lives. And it's up to you to want it bad enough. All right. All right, guys. Until next time, I'll see you and goodbye.